I know you've got a lot of scraps because I've got a lot of scraps. But in today's video, I'm going to go over one of my favorite scrap busters that I've ever done in my entire life. So it's been a long time since I've done one, but I think that you might enjoy it. It also takes very, very few materials, very little bit of time to do, and you can customize it any way that you want to. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make some scrap fabric postcards. Now, I've heard that these postcards can be mailed. I have not tried mailing one, but I've heard that if you have the right postage on it, that they should go through the little scanner. I'm going to show you a super quick and easy way how I do it, and I'm going to try a new way that I've never done it before, but in theory, it should. So if you want to follow along, grab your sewing gear, and let's get into it. Okay, so like I was saying before, this takes super duper minimal amount of materials. Like literally, I'm sure you've got these somewhere in the house, but I'm starting out with 2 pieces of cardstock, and I'm doing 2 pieces because I'm going to be doing 2 different methods. But I cut my pieces of cardstock 5 inches by 7 inches, and this is just your ordinary, everyday, just pieces of cardstock. I've also got 2 pieces of batting. Now, I like to use Warm and Natural just because that's what I've used for years, but you use whatever batting that you've got around. I've never tried this with that super lofty type of batting. If you don't want to use batting, you do you, but I do recommend having some sort of layer in between your quilting and your piece of paper. It'll make sense in a minute. And you'll also need some fabric scraps. Now, I just did a project that involved blue fabric. This is the project that I'm working on with the blue fabric. What you're going to use is whatever scraps that you have. I did go ahead and press them with my little iron here. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to put your cardstock aside for now, and we're going to focus on our batting pieces and our scraps. Now, what you're going to be doing with your batting is you're going to be making a quilt as you go type of block. Now, this can go a couple of different ways. If you want to be fancy and you want to do it like a string quilt where you make like a design or something like that, you do you. You feel free to do whatever you want to do. Me, I'm very random, and I'm just going to go at it in any sort of way. Now, you do want to make sure that you cover your piece of batting all the way. We can trim it down once we get done with our quilting. But I think what I am going to do is I'm just going to start out with this piece that I had before, and then I'm just going to attach some pieces at my sewing machine. And I don't have any kind of spray adhesive. If you want to use spray adhesive, this is what I use. It's a little expensive, but it does do the job. But don't feel like you've got to use that. Okay, so with this piece, what we're going to do is we're going to add a piece here, and I've got right side up. The right side is facing me, and on this, we're just going to put the right side down. And I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance right on this edge. Okay, so now I've got those 2 pieces that are attached. This is going to be my front side, and this is the back. Like I said, we're going to come back and we're going to trim this back down to the size of our batting in just a second. So basically, you just continue on adding pieces until you cover your piece of batting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it down back to the size of our batting. Now, isn't that awesome. Golly, I haven't quilted in so long. I love that. I love the randomness, but the cohesiveness of it. All right, so now we're pretty much in the home stretch. What you're going to do is you're going to take your piece that you cut down, and you're going to take a piece of your cardstock, and everything should line up nice and neat. Now, if you do need to trim them, you do kind of want to make sure that they're pretty close in size, if not exactly. These are pretty close. I can live with that. But what you're going to do is I'm going to use my little piece of glue, my little just washable purple glue that I think every sewist has. And I'm just going to take a few little stripes here just to attach to my cardstock. Just like that. So now we've got our quilted piece on one side, cardstock on the other, and everything's together but not like super duper. What we're going to do to attach this to the cardstock is we're going to go around the edge in a fairly tight zigzag stitch, and we are just going to zigzag right around the edge of our postcard. I've been on a 2.5 on my stitch length. I'm actually going to go down to a 1.5. I'm going to test it out on a piece of scrap just to make sure that it looks the way that I want it to look. I think I want it a little bit tighter, so I'm just going to go down to a 1 stitch length and leave it on that widest zigzag. There we go. So that is the stitch length that I'm going to use to attach our little quilted piece to the cardstock. So the main thing about this part is with your cardstock, you get one shot pretty much. Like, you know, your needle's going to be going through the paper. You may want to change your needle into, like, this one's pretty dull. I'm about to change it soon. But if you don't want to use this into paper, then change your needle now and then you can change it back. But yeah, you get pretty much one shot because every time your needle goes through your cardstock, it's going to make a hole. So just keep that in mind. I like to sew mine with the pretty side up, and I just start not in the corner. I don't like starting in the corner. I'm going to start about a 1/2 inch from the corner, and I'm just going to position it so that my zigzag catches everything right on the edge. So I did slip a little bit with my card, but that's okay. I can fix that. I probably should have done the quilted part on the bottom with the feed dogs, honestly, but it's okay. Again, like I said, I'm going to fix it. Yeah, I definitely should have put it on the bottom. This is what happened by me not putting my quilted part down, is you can see my paper. Yeah, definitely should have done it to where my paper side or my cardstock side was on the top. Yeah, well, but yeah, so this is the idea of what it should look like. Now, I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to use my serger for it. That's what I'm going to do with my second round, because I've never done it with my serger, and I've seen other people try it. So yeah, we're going to try that. Same technique, except for instead of doing a zigzag, we're going to use our serger. So let's piece another one together real quick. Here is my quilted piece. Here is my cardstock, and now we're going to get the serger out and we're going to try it with that method. I'm lining it up right here with the edge, and I'm just going to go through it all 4 sides. I already like that method way better. Look at that. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? What is that? Look at that. Now that is what I'm talking about. Why did I even try it with the machine? Knowing damn well I should have done it like this. Look at that. Look how professional that looks. And it's nice and sturdy and you can still write on it. And it's got a nice heft to it. Yeah, that's the way to do it right there. But not everybody has a serger. So if you're doing a zigzag on your regular machine, it will still work. Just take your time and sew it with the card side up. I think I may do one more with the machine just as an example. But what I'm going to do on this one is I cut my batting about a 1/4 inch bigger all the way around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a little bit of a different method to where I can have a little bit of give to kind of trim and not have to be so exact so that if I get off a little bit, I'm just kind of jacked up. So we're going to do the same process as before, but a little bit different. So let's see how it goes. I don't know what I did last time when I made these. I didn't have nearly this many problems when I made these before. I feel like I'm missing a step. I'm taking my straight edge and I am cutting oh so very close to these stitches, but not into them. This is the fun side and then this is the writing side. Again, it's just kind of bowed up. Okay, so here is the results. Here's the first one that I did. This one, I did my patchwork. I had my batting the same size as my cardstock. I used a zigzag stitch. I went too fast with it. I sewed it with this on top, which I should have had it on the bottom. And yeah, so this was the first one. I would say that is garbage and that's a fail. Here's the second one. I had my batting the same size, did quilt as you go technique, had my cardstock the same size as that, used my serger for the edges. Serger, if you have the capability, I feel like that is a win. And here's my third one. This was the one where the batting and my little quilt was a little bit bigger, about a 1/4 inch bigger than the cardstock. Used a zigzag stitch on my sewing machine, took my time, sewed it around the edge, and then trimmed it down to size. There's a little bit of batting on the edge. I'm just scared to go any closer. I mean, I guess this would probably be acceptable, but I would probably myself, since I do have this, hell yeah, brother. Since I do have that capability, I would probably use my serger on it. But if you don't have one, I would say that just trimming it down to size after you're done sewing would probably get you a better result than whatever the hell this is. All right, y'all. Well, that was a fun one. I mean, I had a good time at trying it out. Again, it's been a billion years since I've done this. So that is how you make these cards. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my little channel. I appreciate it. Like it, share it with somebody that might need some help with some scrap management. I do appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.